Psalm 128, the blessings of walking in the fear of the Lord. Psalm 128 is a celebration of the blessings that come to those who live in reverent obedience to God. As one of the songs of ascents, it was likely sung by pilgrims on their way to Jerusalem, ordinary people reminding themselves that true prosperity comes not from power or wealth, but from living in harmony with God's ways. The psalm begins by affirming that anyone who fears the Lord and walks in His ways is blessed. This fear is not about terror, but about deep respect, trust, and submission to God. The psalmist sets the tone by grounding all blessings in a life aligned with God. The psalm next speaks of enjoying the labor of one's hands. This is a picture of peaceful, honest productivity, where one's work is not wasted or taken by others but leads to satisfaction and well-being. It is the blessing of being able to work, produce, and enjoy the results. Many ancient Israelites faced political instability, famine, and economic hardship, so the promise of eating the fruit of one's labor was a picture of security and flourishing. The happiness described is not superficial cheerfulness, but a deep sense of stability and wellness that comes from God's favor. The psalm then paints a beautiful picture of family life through agricultural imagery. A wife is compared to a fruitful vine growing in the heart of the home. In the ancient world, vines symbolized abundance, joy, and life. To call a wife a fruitful vine is to describe her as a source of vitality, blessing, and warmth within the household. Children are likened to olive shoots around the table. Olive trees take years to mature but can live for centuries. They represent endurance, strength, and future promise. A home where children surround the table like young olive plants evokes a sense of hopeful continuity, suggesting that God's blessing does not stop with one generation but extends into the future. These images collectively express the idea of a flourishing, stable, and joyful household grounded in godliness. The psalmist then reinforces the central message: this is what blessing looks like for those who fear the Lord. It is not defined by extravagant wealth or worldly power, but by the quiet, steady goodness of a life shaped by God's ways, healthy work, a thriving family, and a sense of purpose rooted in divine favor. The blessings described are both practical and relational, showing that God's favor touches every part of life. In its closing verses, the psalm turns from the household to the wider community. The prayer that the Lord bless from Zion situates these blessings in the context of God's presence, since Zion was the spiritual center of Israel's worship. The plea that one might see the good of Jerusalem all one's life links personal well-being with the well-being of the nation. The flourishing of individuals and the peace of the community are interconnected. Finally, the desire to see one's children's children is a biblical expression of long life, stability, and generational blessing. The psalm ends with a prayer for peace on Israel, emphasizing that the blessings of God ripple outward, from the individual, to the family, to the entire nation. Psalm 128 therefore presents a holistic vision of blessing rooted in reverence for God. It affirms that when people live in faithful obedience, they experience God's goodness in their work, their relationships, their generations, and their society. It is a timeless reminder that true prosperity is found not merely in material success but in a life aligned with God's presence, purpose, and peace.
Psalm 128, a Song of Ascents. Blessed is every one who fears the Lord, who walks in His ways. When you eat the labor of your hands, you shall be happy, and it shall be well with you. Your wife shall be like a fruitful vine in the very heart of your house, your children like olive plants all around your table. Behold, thus shall the man be blessed who fears the Lord. The Lord bless you out of Zion, and may you see the good of Jerusalem all the days of your life. Yes, may you see your children's children. Peace be upon Israel.